Picture this. A humble golf course in America gets slapped with the dreaded title of worst in the nation. But could there be more to the story than meets the eye? It's a tale that dives into the heart of what makes a golf course truly valuable. And trust me, it's not just about manicured greens and fancy memberships. Stick around, because we're about to unpack why one particular spot might just deserve a second look, even if the critics are sharpening their claws. Back in August, a popular golf website named MyGolfSpy dropped a bombshell by naming the Leo J. Martin Golf Course as the absolute worst in the United States. You can check out their full list here, https://mygolfspy.com/news/opinion/these are the 10 worst golf courses in America. And get this, Massachusetts didn't come out looking too great, with 3 of its courses landing in the top 10 spots on that infamous ranking. Among them, Ponkapoag Golf Course in Canton, a state-operated spot that's earned the affectionate nickname Ponky from its loyal band of weekend golfers, snagged the number 5 position. Meanwhile, Norwood Country Club claimed the number 3 spot, showing just how tough the competition was for the bottom ranks. But here's where it gets interesting. Ponky has a bit of a literary pedigree that adds some charm to its reputation. Back in 1996, a witty sports journalist named Rick Riley penned a hilarious and insightful novel called Missing Links. Find it here, https://books.google about missinglinks.html, inspired by a crew of middle-aged buddies who regularly teed off at Ponky and dreamed up wild schemes to crash a posh private club. It's a fun reminder that sometimes the stories behind a course can be as engaging as the game itself. Now, let's talk about how MyGolfSpy arrived at these rankings, and this is the part most people miss. Their method wasn't exactly a rigorous scientific study. Instead, they combed through social media platforms, gathering user ratings and comments to form their judgments. It's a crowdsourced approach that can be insightful, but it also raises questions about fairness and bias. For instance, are online reviews always accurate, or do they reflect personal preferences more than objective quality? The feedback on Ponky, Norwood, and the Martin was especially brutal, painting a picture that's hard to ignore. Take Ponky. One reviewer slammed it as not even worthy of being called a goat track. For beginners, that's a slang term for a rough, makeshift course where even animals might struggle, and declared they'd never play there, even if paid. Norwood fared no better, with someone comparing it to calling a fast food joint fine dining. And the Martin? The critiques were scathing. You can't even call this a golf course. There are no greens or tee boxes to speak of. Some holes are just open fairway with a flag stuck in the middle. The fairways look like a rocky beach, perfect for spraining an ankle. I wouldn't come back here for free. MyGolfSpy didn't hold back, delivering a biting commentary that stung. With a shockingly low Google rating of just 2.7, the Leo J. Martin only qualifies as a golf course because it says so itself. Ouch! That's the kind of snark that leaves a mark. But here's where it gets controversial. I have a soft spot for underdogs, so I decided to give the Leo J. Martin a try last week with my son. The green fees, check them out at https://statemadcourse.com/greenfees, were a steal. $17 for 18 holes for me as a senior, which is less than the cost of a decent sandwich at many private clubs. My son paid $27, matching the price at Ponky. In contrast, Norwood, a private operation, charges $37 to $46 per round, dropping to $34 to $43 for seniors, significantly higher than these public options. And don't forget the extra cost for golf carts, which can add up quickly. That said, calling them green fees at the Martin feels a bit deceptive, because the greens there are more like, well, browns. They're not in the best condition, to put it mildly. Yet, as with golf and life in general, you often get what you pay for. Private clubs demand hefty initiation fees, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars just to join, plus annual dues for those pristine, perfectly groomed courses and landscapes. Public courses like the Martin and Ponky operate on a different model, and that's perfectly fine. They serve a broader purpose, welcoming everyone without the exclusivity. I won't sugarcoat it. I can't deny the validity of the harsh critiques about the Martin. The course is in rough shape, crying out for more maintenance, better care, and definitely more fertilizer. Rounds can drag on, especially since there aren't many skilled players around to keep things moving. Still, I'm not here to bury the Leo J. Martin. I'm here to celebrate it. For those without the means to afford private club memberships or the luck of having wealthy friends who invite you out, it's an affordable gateway to the game. It's a place where budget-conscious golfers can enjoy a round without breaking the bank. Take Alexis Kissam from Wellesley, one of the 3 towns, along with Newton and Weston, that the Martin spans. She brought her 9-year-old son Freddie and his friend Roman Coffey for a game last week. They're just starting out, so this is an ideal spot for beginners, she explained. We had a blast. It's fantastic for picking up the basics of golf, and the staff here are incredibly kind and welcoming. That sentiment brought a smile to Martin Hanley's face. As a supervisor at the Martin, he admitted that the negative buzz since the website's declaration has been tough to swallow. It doesn't seem fair, he said, and I don't believe you can truly evaluate a golf course or anything else based solely on social media chatter. He's spot on about that. More than anything, Hanley was disappointed by the lack of balance in the reviews, which overlooked the course's positive aspects. We foster a wonderful community here, he shared. There are many dedicated workers and players who make this place special. We give back to the neighborhood. To drive home his point, as we chatted outside the clubhouse, a golf program tailored for individuals with autism was unfolding right behind him. A perfect example of the inclusive spirit. Hanley and his colleague, Vera Rundlet, who paused her cart-moving duties to join the conversation, expressed pride in how the Martin draws in people from every walk of life. Diverse backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, financial situations, and abilities. They all share a common passion for golf, a sport that's been jokingly called a good walk spoiled by skeptics. Hanley mentioned a regular player, a retired Boston University physicist in his 90s, who enjoys deep conversations with him about topics beyond the game, like life itself. Sometimes, when I arrive before dawn, there are folks already in the parking lot, eager for the sun to rise so they can start playing, Hanley recounted. This course is a hidden treasure, even if it's not perfectly polished. With a bit of investment, it could truly sparkle. He's absolutely right. The Martin reminds me of the scraggly little Christmas tree that Charlie Brown picks for the school play, the one that stands proud after Linus drapes it in his blanket and declares, maybe it just needs a little love. Watch the clip here, https:/u2.be/podcast. Unfortunately, there's no magical blanket on the horizon for the Martin. Supplies like grass seed, fertilizer, and water come with a hefty price tag, and while it would be great if the Department of Conservation and Recreation stepped up, I'm not optimistic. And this is the part most people miss. Despite the subpar tee boxes, fairways, and greens, the Martin boasts a fantastic design, stunning natural surroundings, and some genuinely challenging holes. With proper care, it could become extraordinary. If only the state valued everyday folks as much as country clubs cherish their affluent members. Just the other day, my son and I were lining up our second shots on the fairway of the par 5, 535-yard fourth hole, which stretched out like a vast Nebraska prairie. We watched a group of geese lift off gracefully, forming a flawless V formation before gliding toward the Charles River. That's one of the best things about this place, Martin Hanley told us afterward, grinning widely with his arms crossed. The wildlife and scenery here are incredible. A river flows right through it. Kevin Cullen is a Globe columnist. Reach him at kevin.cullen@globe.com. What do you think? Should public golf courses like the Martin receive more funding to level the playing field with private clubs? Or is it fair that you get what you pay for? Do social media ratings truly capture a course's worth, or do they overlook the community value? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if you agree, disagree, or have your own underdog story to tell.